Hello, Cublets. Welcome back to another Bear With me, BearElliott. We're going into the deep, dark places of space, to a final frontier, where we look at the voyages of a starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to discover new worlds, new life forms, and all that other kind of jazz that they talk about. Let's get into Star Trek Beyond! Okay, we're just gonna get it out. I freaking loved this movie. Now, I know you hear me say that a lot, that I love this movie. But this movie in particular, I had a little bit of reservations in regards to, because of the whole fact that it was getting a lot of bad press at the beginning, and that's when I went on media blackout. I said, I'm not listening to anything else until, of course, the whole George Takei thing came up, and Sulu coming out, and you can see my other vlog about that. But that was really the only thing that I learned about this movie. I did not know who was going to be in it. I did not know who the villain was. I did not want to know anything in regards to this movie when it came to plot. Nothing. I wanted to go on just media blackout for this. So, a couple things. We're introduced to a new character played by Jessica Alba, who I thought the character was amazing. She fits into the Star Trek world beautifully. I tried to do some research to see if she's been in any, like, a lot of times they'll slip in, like, past elements of certain characters, like the main character, or the main antagonist, Krall. He actually has a history in the universe for Star Trek, but it isn't this particular Krall. It is interesting in regards to that, and we'll get into that character in a little bit. But Jessica Alba's character, I just thoroughly loved her. She's badass. She is just cool. Okay, the plot. I kind of skipped ahead to characters. But I love Jessica Alba's character. I kind of want to action figure over because she's so that cool. Well, alright, Star Trek. Where are we in this universe? Now, you have to go and remember that these movies are not in the same continuity as the original Star Trek series. Now, that includes all of the previous movies in regards to before the last two. But anything that took place in the, let's say, the Star Trek Universe 0. That's the original series. That's the Star Trek TV series from the 60s. That's going to include Star Trek Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise. All of those consist and exist inside of Universe 0. This is Universe 1. Now, because of certain events that took place in the first Star Trek movie, this is an offshoot universe. So things are going to be different, people. They don't affect your childhood. They're not going to destroy your memories from your past movie events, because this is something different. And I really like it. It's an updated reimagining to this world that Roddenberry created. And I think that's great. I really, really like it, because things that we like, Sulu's sexuality, we've always kind of figured it out on our own, not just because George Takei is gay, but because of certain mannerisms and certain elements to his personality just kind of led us to find a connectivity with his sexuality, even though it was never blatantly expressed. Well, in this one, we actually do get to see Sulu and his husband and his daughter, and I thought that was great. It was not a big deal. You see him get off the ship, and you see him walk away with his husband and his daughter. I thought that was lovely, and there was just certain elements to it, sweetness, that it's no big deal that he's gay. Alright, the rest of the characters. Spock and Uhura, they were in a relationship. He decides to break it off, and that's kind of still a developing thing. That did not take place in Universe 0. And we have Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk, he is kind of at a crossroads when it comes to his career, because he's been offered an admiralship. I think that's the right word, and a promotion, and he has to decide if he's going to take it, and that means leaving the Enterprise. Also his crew, which is his family. Then we also have Bones. Bones, he's right where he is. Bones is Bones. He has some of the best lines in the movie when it comes to just one-liners and off things. I think he is kind of the comic relief, even though all the other characters have their comic relief. I think he is pretty much there as kind of the almost like the straight man who just makes these comments in it. Not like sexuality straight man. But then we have also Scotty. Scotty's at a good spot in his life. He's loving his job. He has his little friend who's got a cold. And then you also have Chekhov. Now, Chekhov, of course, the character, or the actor who played this character passed away recently, which it was really sad because he was so young and his death could have been avoided. When it came to, it was such a random accident. But he plays a big role in this, and he's at a good point in his life as well when it comes to this character. And he gets a lot of screen time with him and Captain Kirk. So, the Enterprise, they are always there to do the good. They're out there to protect the innocent and to do what's right. So, a unknown species, she comes onto this massive starbase, and she needs help because she says that her crew needs help. So the Enterprise is the only one that has the navigational systems to be able to go through this nebula. So they go and try to help her. Well, it turns out it's a trap. If you're watching this, I hope that you don't mind spoilers because we're going to probably spoil some things. Well, they get attacked by this species of the hive, the bees. And they just rip the ship apart. It's like, oh, that ain't coming back. Oh, no. This is even worse than when Donna Troy crashed the Enterprise. It went really bad. It was just ripped to shreds, which was a cool effect. The crew is taken captive by this alien species, and they're led by Krall. Now, Krall in Universe Zero, when it comes to Star Trek, he actually has a history. Now, it's very vague. He has some connectivity to and connections to the Klingons. He also has a strange history with the Gorgon from the battle on the planet. You know, the guy that has the lizard head. He has connections to that. This particular Krall is not that. They discover a ship that was from the Starfleet. Yeah, Starfleet. For some reason I went to Star Wars. I was thinking the Federation? That doesn't seem right. When it comes to the Starfleet, they discover the USS Franklin, that has been missing for decades, and they discover this, and it turns out that the captain and some of the 3 remaining crew members have been using alien technology to suck the life force out of other beings, and it modifies their appearances. It depends upon the life force and that they suck out of, which sounds strangely sexual. Which, by the way, I bet men.com is going to be having a Star Trek parody coming out soon. That's going to be weird. But, hey, Krall is our main protagonist in this series, and I thought it was really neat. His reasoning is because he's a warrior, and he's against Starfleet, and he just wants to destroy Starfleet, and he's basically been spying on them for years, and getting his plan together. So we're introduced into this alien environment that he's capturing these individuals, and he is plotting to destroy the starbase and eventually take down Starfleet. Great movie. I thought it was nonstop, whereas the second one was interesting because there was a lot more politics in the second one, but this one here, it is action from the first moment the screen starts to the very end. There is action, just thrown at you. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. I was not bored, even though I was annoyed that these people behind me brought in this very young child that was maybe like 5 or 6 that should not have been in that movie. Not at all. And the parents didn't want to remove the child because they wanted to see the movie. And the child ended up talking throughout the entire movie and barfing at one point into a bag. Okay, I've gotten that out. That's just a side note. Parents, think before you take your children to a movie. That's not like an animated movie. Okay. Happy thoughts. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great. Couple little problems with the plot because I think they didn't explain it as much as I would have liked. But overall, great acting, great sequence when it comes to the action. The special effects were incredible. It was exactly what I was looking for. J.J. Abrams obviously has his hand in this. I mean, he's with the Star Wars universe and now the Star Trek universe. So you could see a lot of his elements, especially since Bad Robot is the production company that they're using in both of these. So it's kind of an interesting crossover for these. So you do see a lot of his elements, and you also see a lot of the characters that actors that he make crossovers to this. So you might want to spot those. I love the movie. Go out and see it. I think it's definitely going to be in theaters for a while. It's going to, I can only imagine this weekend it's going to be the #1. So I hope that you're having a wonderful weekend. And until next time, have yourself a great day. And remember, everyone, the future is what we make it. We can either be together or apart. And like the Star Trek universe, let's all be together and unified. So until next time, have yourself a wonderful day. Bye, Cublets!
I could go out in the darkness, see you calling my name. I hear you shouting, hear you calling, but it's not the same. Every word that you are throwing right into my back doesn't matter to me, cause I'm keeping my track. Let me go, let me go.